Alright guys, I'm back again with another comic review, and this time, I remembered to wear my Kabuki shirt! Yes, because I'm going to be reviewing the second volume in the Kabuki series, Dreams, which I'm going to assume, at this point, you've read Kabuki 1. So if you have not read Kabuki 1, don't watch this video, because I'm going to assume you've read it, and I might say spoilerific bits that are from Kabuki 1, but I'm going to try not to. So, this second volume, a little backstory into how I actually came across this one because it's kind of cool. I met David Mack at Cincy Comic Expo 2013, and while I was there, I owned and read Kabuki 1, and I owned already Kabuki like 5 and 7, and I was waiting to read them until I could read the whole series in order, obviously, because I just saw the art on the inside of the later ones, and I was like, how is this happening from a book like that looks like this? Looks like Kabuki 1 in the first one, it's just black inks. And then it goes to this crazy painterly stuff. You start getting that in this volume, and it's awesome. So, like I said, I met David Mack, and we were talking for a long time, and I was telling him about Infirem, actually, if you know me from my comics that I'm working on, which is a comic about dreams already. And he holds up this book and says, "Hey, you have this one?" I said, "Actually, no, I don't. That's the second one. I'm trying to find that." And as I'm rambling, like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to find that one. I don't quite have it." He opens it up. He opens up this copy. He signs it, and just goes, "Here." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." So, David Mack is like one of the coolest guys ever. If I ever see him again, I'm just going to give him a copy of my now finished Infirem Part 1 because he totally deserves it, because he gave me this book to really start getting some of the ideas for that book that I was a little iffy on, and it helped me keep reading the rest of the series and really gave me reason to, because this book is crazy for how tiny it is. It's very small compared to the others. Even the last one, which was a paperback, if you even include the hardcover size, it's like, this is like a third, maybe even a fourth of the last book. If you count the actual page lengths, it might even be a sixth. But the difference is you're going to spend a lot more time on pages than you were in Volume 1. I say that's sometimes not really true. I'm going to try and show some of the pages in here because it's just absolutely crazy. Hopefully we don't have any crazy glares like we did in the last videos. These go from a real range of styles. He's got a lot of collage elements. Sometimes he'll just go back to the inks that you're familiar with in the last few volumes, and really there's not much spoilers that I'm going to be showing you by flipping through some of these. It's all written down physically what's going on, because physically not much really happens in this volume. It's a lot of it's like a big emotional ride for Kabuki, who did not die, apparently, and it's really, really interesting. The pages just keep changing all the time. He's like breaking so many rules that we're kind of used to with comics, and he just does so many creative things, page after page, and it's brilliant. The story's written brilliantly, and then there's, oh yeah, at least in this, there's a bunch of back matter and mine, so that even makes this book even smaller than it really looks already. So, kind of a bummer this one is so short, but it's a really short story anyway. It doesn't really need to be longer than this. It's fine. I put this one down and I was just as excited about reading it, or about how great it was, than what I was when I put down the first volume, which was, you know, way bigger. So don't even worry about that. Now, to give you an idea about what's actually happening, I read the back of this, and the back of this describes it so much better than I probably can, so I'm going to give you an idea of what this says. It says, Dreams, which is the title of this trade. The first one was Circle of Blood, this one is Dreams. Dreams is a mix of poetry, Japanese mythology, and a modern near-death experience, told in a diverse array of painted media, layered with psychological subtext and graphic invention. A horribly scarred woman has a vision of the afterlife in which she is visited by her dead mother, and then returns to live with a new sense of purpose. A personal tale of love, familial duty, and self-discovery, elegantly told through the masks and metaphors of the Japanese ghost story. I've never messed up so many times while trying to read something. Well, anyway, you get the idea. It's I've kind of already talked about how the art is so different already from that first volume, and it's really exciting to see it because it matches what the story's trying to do. The story's kind of, ethereal in her head already as you think Kabuki's dead, as, she's meeting her mother, as she's coming back, and so many things are happening, and they're all in her head, that the collage elements of this book really work. And it's really cool to see how the art can start playing into how he wants to tell the story. And he's basically becoming like a master of using words and pictures to tell a story through comics, which is really awesome. And I'm really glad to tell you, for people who just read Kabuki 1, this is only the start of a lot of this awesome, crazy stuff. So if you've read this volume and you haven't kept going, you need to, because they get so much better. Even though this one is fantastic, I think Volume 5 and Volume 7, which are in the same style, are probably some of the best comics I own. Really great. I definitely recommend picking them up. So, I don't need to ramble on about this one for too much longer. Like I said, it's a really short book, really drastic turn, and we've already talked about Kabuki. So, I definitely recommend you picking up Volume 2, especially if you read Volume 1. If not, David Mack himself says you don't have to read these in order, but you can if you feel like it's going to advance the story, which honestly, I waited till I read them all in order, and I think it works a little better if you read them all in order, but you can read them out of order. So if you just came across this one here and you can't find the first volume for some reason, order it online. You can read this one. It's fine. You can read really any of them out of order. It just might make more sense if you read them in order, which sounds a little weird saying that, but when you read it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So, anyway, I'm going to make this a short video. That's all I really need to say about Kabuki Volume 2, and I will see you guys in the next comic review video.